Hi everyone, our journal page, and basically it's starting with a new stencil I made. Don't know how it will work. It was kind of experiment. I took a photo from, I think it was pixabay.com, and played with it with Photoshop, so I will have some contrast. And then I took some acetate, and basically, why is it an experiment? Because instead of doing the face, cutting the face, and this would be the stencil, I went the other way. I don't know how it will be and what will come out of it. So that's the final stage, the stenciling of this. I'm going to just start by applying some paint. Not sure where it's going. I've got some dark blue, dark purple as a start, and I really don't care where it's going. I'm going to, I think, basically layer a lot of stenciling one on top of each other and just go and lighten the page. So I'm starting just by putting down some paint. I'm working on a 240 grams paper. It's from a paper pad. I made this journal from paper pads. I had all kinds, and I just mixed all kinds of paint. I've switched a brush to something softer, and I've dipped it in a little bit of water because it just didn't move on the page like I wanted it to. Maybe if I've gessoed the page first, then it would be easier, but as I said, I really don't care. I just want to put some paint. As you can see, I really don't care. I'm letting them mix also. All of it is going to get covered with stenciling. So this is just the first layer of paint. And I made a mess here at this on the side. Just making sure that everything is covered, otherwise I really don't care. I need a little bit more paint, and maybe just a little bit more water just to help things along. So as you can see, quite a mess with the colors, and it really doesn't matter. Just covering my page. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna continue with a stencil. I'll be back. Okay, so this is dry. Picked this stencil, and it really doesn't matter. I just didn't want some stencil that is symmetric. I wanted a variation in the back, and now I'm taking two other blue paints that are a little bit lighter than what I've got in the back. Otherwise, I really didn't care about the what kind of color it is. I only went by making them, I wanted them to be lighter than the back. That's it. So I'm starting stenciling, although I will need to lift it to see if it's light enough. If not, I will need to lighten them in. It's not enough. So let's see. Let's grab this blue, and I'll just make the mix, and we'll see. So it just is trying to find a balance between a dark and light. I want a pattern on in the back, but I don't want it to overwhelm my page because this is just part of the background. So I'm just mixing them and switching between the colors so it would be more interesting, and I can lift and check if it's okay, and it is. So just continuing doing the same thing all over. Okay, now I'm building up this background and page to see how my new stencil is, how it looks. But you don't need to have this stencil, and you don't need to do a stencil like mine. You can take any kind of image that you want and try it on some kind of this kind of background. Let's see. Good enough. Okay, so I think now I'm going to put more of this lighter color and get out. Okay, and now I want some butterflies. Let's see. I think I'll just use this and again just dipping into the paint, dabbing for access, and here we go. More details in the back. Not trying to be perfect with this stenciling. As I said, part of the background. Okay, I want a little bit more. Basically, I'm pushing back the dark color that I had at the start. It's just part of the layering. Okay, I think I have another something with smaller butterflies, so I think I'm gonna add it so I will have more small details in the background. Let's see. Yeah, found it. So I'm just gonna continue with this color, and I'm still planning on stenciling another layer with even a lighter color on top. So maybe it will turn to look like a mess, I don't know. I'm just playing with the stencils, with the details, and we'll see what happens. Where else? On here. As you can see, it's not planned. I'm just laying it down where I think it's needed. And most of it is gonna get covered when I'm doing the last stencil of the face. So yeah, okay, so I've got this, and now I'm really going with a lighter color, another kind of blue. I thought about white, but then decided that it would be too much, so I've got this, and I wanted some like writing in the back, and I think I'm going like this, or like this. No, I'm going like this, and again I'm going to stencil it, and like so. It's going on top of everything. It doesn't cover the whole page, but after I will do all of it, I'm just gonna move the stencil and continue stenciling where it's not covered. So I've got some work to do here with this stencil. I'm gonna continue and I'll come back. Okay, so I've got my background, and now for the moment of truth that I need to see if this stencil is working, and I'm going to place it here very gently. It's kind of delicate because how I've cut it. I'm taking a black gesso. I'm using the black gesso instead of a black acrylic paint because it's a little bit thicker, and my black gesso was I finished it, so I just made black gesso with black acrylic paint with baby powder, talc, and that's what I've got here. That's my own black gesso. So again, taking, and this is, I'm my words are just mixing. So taking a little bit of the black gesso and dabbing for excess, and going to do it very gently, and probably will need 2 coats of this, but I prefer to do it gently with less gesso on my sponge than everything not working. So I need to hold the stencil down where I have delicate areas, and I'm not pushing the sponge. I'm trying to be very, very gentle when I'm doing it. So as you can see, it's also getting stuck on my fingers, and well, doesn't bode well for what's going to come out of it, but I'm gonna still try, and I'm gonna just continue doing this until I've got a good black cover. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back when it's finished, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's what came out of it, and now I'm just adding black to get to the edges. My stencil is a little bit smaller than the page, so I'm just continuing with the black. Now I think First of all, the stencil I should have probably done it on a thicker acetate, so it would be stiff, more durable. Right now, when I stenciled it, it didn't stop moving, and it was kind of hard to stencil with it, but well, that's what I have right now. This acetate is 125 microns, and that's what came out of it. Now another thing is, probably I should have done a lighter background, so it would be more of a contrast, but I really like what's going on here all the same. And what I'm thinking is, I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I can, first of all, I can do some fixing with a black permanent marker, and also maybe I will take some white marker, some kind of white marker, and do some contour lines so it would be more visible on the page, this thing. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is dry, and now for the fixing. First, where I think I need to fix the black, I am using a black permanent marker, and I just go and do something like this and cover what I want to cover, or just make the line a little bit more refined. If I don't like it here because my stencil moved or the stencil is not great, then I'm just fixing it. So I just go inside where I think it's need a little bit more of the black, like so. Of course, I can also take a brush with some acrylic paint and do this. It really is what's more comfortable for you to use, and I think a marker is just more fine and allows me to do more of a fine-tuning what I've got here. And I have a problem with this marker. Okay, like so. Yeah. So what I was thinking is to also go with some white line, but I'm not sure about it, especially that I don't have luck with white markers. No, it doesn't matter if it's Posca pen or Zig or anything, just don't have luck with them. Let's see. It's not opaque enough, even though I mixed it, and no. Let's see something else. I've got another one. This is a Zig acrylic paint. It's a light blue. Maybe this will work for me. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, this one's better. So what I'm going to do is just continue, and I think I'm not even going to be precise about it. I am just going very loosely around my image. Yeah, and adding this lines. So again, gonna continue doing this and then I'll come back. Okay, finished with going over my image. I am quite satisfied with what's going on here, but I still want to add some details, and I want to add another color and some more interest on top and not have all this black area. So I've picked this stencil. I've got some butterflies here, and what I'm going to do is place them here. And I've got some white gesso because I've got black underneath. I'm using gesso as my first layer of stenciling and dabbing excess, and on top of this I will add color. So right now I'm just doing one layer of gesso like so, and if I feel I need more, then I just go over again to have a more complete coverage. Okay, like so, and I like it. Moving on, and I will need for this to dry because now I want to flip it and do something like this. I'm going to wait for it to dry, doing another one here, and okay, so my phone quit on me. What I've done is finished doing the contour line, and I really like the image, but I didn't like all this black area, so I've taken this stencil where I have this butterflies and stenciled here with white gesso. After it dries, I will add color. I want some added color to this page, and now I'm flipping it over because I want to put some butterflies here, and the gesso is going to give me a nice base to whatever color I'm going to put. So again, just dabbing my makeup sponge and stenciling. And sometimes when you've got a darker background, then you need to stencil 2 layers. So I'm just adding a little bit where I think it's needed, like so. And now I need for this to dry on my stencil before I flip it over again, because I want to add another more butterflies here. And let's see, I had some, yeah, just gonna do something like this with a paper towel, and let's hope for the best. So again, just like this, I think, and taking a little bit of gesso, just going over areas that I think need more gesso. Okay, yeah, so now for the color, I need to place my stencil again like so. And well, what color do I want? Let's go crazy with magenta. So I'm putting a little bit here, and again taking a little bit. I'm not cleaning my sponge because I wanted to mix a little bit with the white gesso that I still got. and just going over and again I can go back again and make it more prominent and less pink and more magenta. And I can also decide to take another color and mix it. Like I can bring back this purple that we used in the first layer, take a little bit and just add it in several places like so, just so it won't be a solid color like so. So I'm going to do the same thing here and here, and then I'll come back. So this is it. I've made the all the butterflies, and I'm just doing final thing. And I took this is a gel pen, and it's from the cheap store, so I don't have any brand, and I'm just adding little bit of highlights in several places on the butterflies, just to make them pop. And it doesn't have any rules. I'm just adding where I think it's needed, and basically this is it. I thought about adding more details on the black, but then I decided that I'm leaving it be, and that's enough for me. So as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit to each butterfly like so. I'll bring it closer just so you can see what I've done, and that's it. That's my page. I thought about, as I said, to add more things. I thought about all kinds of dots and stars, I don't know, but decided that this is it and I'm leaving it be. So that was my experiment. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.